I have already published on the irrefutable connection of Mahabarath with Islam. Through that video, I had also established that Allah is nothing but Eesa, the Shiva, and also etymologically proved that the name Islam originated out of Eesa, the Lama. Eesa plus Lama, Isalama, Isalama, Islam. None of the Muslims today know the etymological meaning of the Islamic technical words like Muslim, Masjid, Ramzan, Hijab, Halal, Nikah, etc. I would publish an exclusive video on technical words of Islam later. Having established the connection of Eesa to Islam, I am declaring and proving the connection of Tamil God Murugan to Islam through this video. We would see how. Islam is intimately connected to green color. We have already explained the connection of Judaism with the black color through Kali, the ancient goddess. We shall soon publish the reason for the connection of white color to Christianity. For the present, our point of concern is the connection of green color to Islam. Some Muslims might reason the connection through an immortal prophet called Al-Khidr, who is called the Green Man. They shall not know anything more than that. For if you ask them for the reason for choosing Friday as the special day of worship, none of the Muslims would know the actual reason. Only Tamils shall answer this question, and let us start the voyage to find the answer. I have already published a video titled Murugan, the first agriculturist of the world. Yes, Murugan was the very first agriculturist of the world. As Murugan originally belonged to ancient Lanka, he should have started agriculture in ancient Lanka. In Lanka, where could he have initiated the first agriculture? There should be a temple for Murugan commemorating this fact in the region where he started agriculture. Yes, there is a temple, and the temple is still in use today. The temple is Kadirgamam Murugan Temple. What makes me to state that this is the place where Murugan started agriculture? Here, the Tamil word Kadir means a panicle of millet, paddy, etc. Kamam means village in Tamil. Hence, the name Kadir Kamam states that it was this village where agriculture was first carried out. I had already established through Mahabarath videos that paddy was cultivated first near Tirunelveli in India. Likewise, Kadir Kamam is the region where agriculture was first carried out in the history of mankind. The crop that Murugan cultivated first was thinai, called foxtail millet in English. That is why this is offered to Murugan as thanksgiving during the Kartigai Deepam festival, which is nothing but an agricultural victory festival. Flour of the foxtail millet mixed with the sweetening agent is being offered in most Murugan temples, signifying the fact that Murugan cultivated this crop first. The other crop that Murugan cultivated is a very nutritious sweet potato. Sweet potato was called Valli Kilangu in Tamil after Valli, the green goddess of agriculture. Valli was called after the planet Venus, called Velli in Tamil, the planet of Pachayamma. Valli, the green goddess of agriculture, was metaphorized as the wife of Murugan to transmit the fact for posterity that Murugan invented agriculture. How do we know that Murugan cultivated sweet potato? While I was preparing the script for this video, as a rare coincidence, Mr. Balachandran from USA sent a video link on New Zealand. From that video, I learned that New Zealanders called sweet potato as Kumara. It was Murugan who cultivated sweet potato. As Murugan is called Kumara, they ironically called the sweet potato itself as Kumara. New Zealanders left Peru of South America continent and settled in Easter Island initially and finally moved to New Zealand 700 years ago. The New Zealanders say that they brought sweet potato from Peru. I have already established that Mayans were Tamils through two videos. Obviously, the ancient Tamils knew that Murugan cultivated sweet potato and hence called it Kumara after Muruga. These facts emphatically and irrefutably prove that Murugan invented agriculture. Thus, as Murugan invented agriculture, he was called Green Man too. For the same reason, he was called Kadir after the panicle that the plants yield as their produce. It is this Qadir that is called Al-Khidr of Islam, which was originally pronounced as Al-Qadir. He is also called Al-Qadr, Al-Khizr, etc. in various regions of the world. To prove that it is so, there is a mosque just about 300 meters from Kadirgama Murugan temple of Sri Lanka. This mosque is called Al-Khidr Mosque. You might wonder whether this Al-Khidr is the one that is referenced in Quran and stated in Hadith. Yes, it is the very same Al-Khidr of Islam. How do you know it for sure? Quran states that Moses went on a voyage in search of Al-Khidr to acquire special knowledge from him. He seems to have met Al-Khidr at an island where two seas meet. This is the statement from Quran. Though Quran does not mention the names of these two seas are nothing but the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. At the meeting point, we have the island called Sri Lanka, and it is in that island that we have both Murugan Temple and Al-Khidr Mosque situated adjacent to each other in the ancient village called Kadirkamam. To further prove that Al-Khidr means Murugan, let us take the mosque in Iran located in Qum region. This unusual mosque called as Al-Khidr Mosque is situated on a hillock. This mosque is pre-Islamic mosque said to exist for 3000 years. There is a saying in Tamil, Kundirukkum idamellam Kumaran irukkum idam, meaning wherever there is a hillock, there lives Murugan. Obviously, this place is called Kum after Kumaran, the Murugan. I would like to remind my viewers that there is a hill in Palestine opposite to Dead Sea called as Qumran Hills, after Kumara, the Muruga, where Siddhas called Essenes were living in the caves of those hills. Likewise, the Iranian Qum region got its name after Kumara, whose shrine is situated on top of the Qum hill. Hence, Iranian example also proves that Al-Khidr refers to Murugan. As yet another proof, there is a mosque in Uzbekistan called Al-Khidr Mosque, and it is situated at a place called Samarkand. What does this name Samarkand mean? Samar means fight in Tamil, and Murugan is a war god. Kand means Kandan, another name of Murugan. Hence, Samarkand refers to Murugan, and hence Al-Khidr Mosque there refers to Murugan only. What you are seeing is an Al-Khidr Mosque in Mosul, Iraq, before demolition by ISIS, and this one is after demolition. There is also an Al-Khidr Mosque at Samandag in Turkey. There is also a Kubbat Al-Khidr at Temple Mount in Jerusalem. From this, we have established that Al-Khidr of Islam, called as Green Man, is actually Murugan, the god of war and the god of agriculture. Islamic sources also say why Al-Khidr was called a green man. According to Sahih al-Bukhari, if Al-Khidr sat over a barren white land, it would turn into green with vegetation. Hence, Al-Khidr means green or verdant according to Islam. This clearly establishes that Al-Khidr should have been an agriculturist even by Islamic sources. We should now research on how the character Al-Khidr got into Islam in the first place. We have already established that Islam originated out of Arabs who were the descendants of Kauravas who left the mountain region of ancient Tamil land after being defeated in Mahabarath war about 5000 years ago. The Kauravas of the mountain had nothing to do with Murugan, and hence Muhammad, the descendant, could not have been aware of Al-Qadir. But there were people living in Arabia, some of them as companions of Prophet Muhammad, who migrated from Sumeria. I have given enough proof already that Middle East was familiar with Al-Qadir in pre-Muhammadian times itself. Thus, Muhammad was aware of Al-Qadir through his companions who migrated earlier from Sumerian region. Now the question is, how the Sumerians were familiar with Al-Qadir. About 7000 years ago, there was a great war between Indian Rama and Lankan Ravana called as Ramayanam War. The losers of the Ramayanam War left Lanka as refugees and settled in Mesopotamia. As Murugan was a war god, and as Murugan taught agriculture to Lankans, these refugees carried with them advanced warfare techniques and agriculture. Samar means fight, and hence the settlers at Mesopotamia were called Sumer, Sumerians. A society which is advanced in agriculture would also be advanced in culture. Obviously, Sumerians brought agriculture and culture to Mesopotamia, and they were actually Lankan Tamils. Hence, Sumerians were Lankan Tamils. Obviously, along with agriculture and culture, they also brought with them their gods. One of such gods was Al-Qadir, the Lankan god of agriculture. That's how the knowledge of Al-Qadir spread to the Middle East. Having established the connection of Al-Qadir with Middle East, we shall now explain how he got into Quran. We know that the messenger of God called Gabriel revealed Quran to Prophet Muhammad. Who is this messenger called Gabriel? We would disclose his origins now. I have already explained that Sumerians were actually the refugees from ancient Lanka who brought with them their gods, and one of those gods was Al-Qadir. Who were all the other gods? Of course, Shiva and Kali were the pre-Diluvian gods, and hence the gods of Lankan too. After deluge, a man whom we call Murugan, Kumaran, Kandan, Velan, Kadirvelan, Guhan, etc. was born in ancient Lankan region, and he brought huge change in the post-Diluvian ancient Tamil society. What are the changes he brought? I would only discuss the changes that are relevant to this topic. 1. Siddhas were ancient scientists and people depended on them for their well-being. Murugan formalized that way of life and called it Asivagam. He identified elephant and lotus as symbols of Asivagam based on their qualities. 2. 7 celestial bodies were known to Tamils in his times. As a feminist himself, Murugan created 7 conceptual female deities, including the already existing Kali, each one of them metaphorizing one aspect of life and representing one planet each and one color each. They were called Yedu Kanni, meaning 7 maidens, or Yedu Nayaki, meaning 7 leadresses. Kali represented war and destruction. Pachema represented agriculture. Saraswati represented wisdom. Kaveri Amma represented nirvana, the attainment of moksha and cosmic wisdom. 3. He developed agriculture technology for the first time in the history of mankind. 4. Close on the heels of developing agriculture, he also developed a martial art to protect his people and their wealth, to defend against dacoitic looting attack by uncultured tribes. That is how he is known as God of War. 5. Having developed agriculture, he was also the first to create the tropical calendar based on zodiacs against the prevalent lunar calendar which existed from the times of Shiva. Thus, the other gods, apart from Shiva and Kali, that Lankans carried with them when they migrated to Mesopotamia were Murugan and the 7 female deities that Murugan created. These female deities were to be called later as Anunnaki of Sumeria. The nomenclature Anunnaki evolved as in the following: Yelu Nayagi, Yenu Nayagi, Yenunaki, Anunnaki. These Anunnaki of Sumerians later became the angels of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. I would discuss the 3 most important angels to prove that Elunayaki that Murugan created became the angels in the Western world. Raphael. This is the angel of judgment according to Abrahamic religions. Ravu plus El, Ravuel, Raphael, Raphael. El means God and Ravu means night. The goddess of night is obviously Kali, and she is the punisher of evildoers and hence the protector of good humans. Michael. This is the angel of nutrition according to Abrahamic religions. Macham plus El, Machael, Makkael, Michael, Michael. Macham means fish, but Michael not only represents fish, it represents agriculture also. We would see how. The ancient Lankans were the first agriculturists of the world after Murugan, who initiated it 10,000 years ago. Obviously, the green goddess Pachiyamma was the goddess who represented agriculture. Kindly remember that this Pachiyamma was one among the 7 conceptual Nayakis that Murugan created. Later, when the Lankans were doing agriculture in the Delta region, they were naturally engaged in fishing too. Hence, they called their agricultural goddess Pachiyamma with the name of fish as Meenachi to represent their fishing occupation also. Meen means fish in Tamil. Thus, Meenachi represented both agriculture and fishing. Meenachi, that is Pachayamma, is a green-skinned goddess wearing green garment and having a green parrot in her hand, all representing the green of agriculture. Her name alone was changed to Meenachi to represent the fishing occupation of the Delta farmers. It is this Meenachi who was called by the ancient Middle East people as Machayal, which deformed to Michael. Now you shall understand why Al-Khidr is shown wearing green garment and standing on a fish. It is this Al-Khidr who created Pachayamma, which was later to be called as Meenachi and which was subsequently called as Michael in the Abrahamic religions. Thus, both fish and agriculture represented nutrition and hence angel Michael represented nutrition. Gabriel, the angel revealing the wisdom of God according to Abrahamic religions. We would see how this concept and name originated. We have already said that Murugan created 7 conceptual female deities. These 7 deities represent the 7 stages of human life. I would discuss only a few of the stages to save time. The first stage up to 12 years represent ignorance with the Kali, the war goddess, as its black deity. The 6th stage, 60 to 72 years, represents wisdom with the Saraswati as its white deity. The 7th stage, from 72 years up to death or nirvana, represents merging of the individual with God and is represented by Kaveri El as its transparent deity. As water is transparent, the 7th transparent deity was called after the biggest sacred river of Tamil land, the Kaveri river. Kaveri plus El, Kaveri El, Kaveri El, Gabriel. Thus, Gabriel represents all the sages who thus merged with God. Obviously, they reveal God's wisdom to the people who seek their guidance. Shiva, called as Enoch, was the first to achieve the immortal state and was followed by many, including Murugan, called as Al-Khidr. The spirit of these people exists in the universe and helps people with enlightenment who seek their service. Gabriel represents all such spirits of humans who attained immortality. Gabriel guides all people who seek its service, but the level of enlightenment that a person receives depends upon his preparatory level. Prophet Muhammad was deeply worried about the exploitation of people of Arabia in the name of religion. He was worried about the state of women in the Arabian society. He was also worried on the terrible poverty prevailing in the desert land, Arabia. He wanted to bring about a positive change in the society to make the life of all people easier and happier. He was meditating in a cave in Arafat mountain near Mecca and sought the guidance in this regard from Gabriel. Gabriel guided him to reformulate Islam as is known today. Prophet Muhammad came to know about Gabriel and Al-Qadir through his followers from the Middle East who were the descendants of the ancient Sumerians. Alas, his Middle East followers forgot the fact that the existence of Gabriel was declared to the world by Al-Qadir himself and that Gabriel is nothing but the 7th Nayaki called as Kaveri El, unveiled by Murugan, the Al-Qadir. As Asivakam was formalized as a way of life by Murugan, Islam too is containing many aspects of Asivakam and it is one of the best religions of the world, tailor-made for desert regions. From this treatise, we know that Al-Qadir is called the Green One as he invented agriculture and he was the Murugan of ancient Lanka. Murugan created 7 Nayakis, one of which, called Pachayamma or Meenachi, represented agriculture and its planet is Venus. Every day of the week is related to a planet each and thus Friday is related to planet Venus. Every planet is attributed to a color as per Asivakam and planet Venus is attributed to green color. As Al-Qadir, the immortal prophet of Islam, is called the Green One, the special worshipping day of Islam is falling on Friday, as this day is associated with Venus, whose color attribute is green. The green color being the chosen color of Islam, it originated from the green one called Al-Qidr, the immortal prophet of Islam. We now understand why Friday is chosen as a day of worship in Islam. Even in Tamil Nadu, Friday is the auspicious day for worshipping Murugan and Pachayamma. The existence of Gabriel, the angel from whom Prophet Muhammad received revelations, was declared by Al-Qidr himself to the world as the seventh Nayaki, called by him as Kaviriyal, which deformed to Gabriel. I had already proved that Allah of Islam is nothing but Shiva, the Eesa. We have now established that the guiding spirit of Islam is Murugan, called as Al-Qadir, who revealed the concepts of modern Islam suitable to the desert region to Prophet Muhammad through Gabriel, the messenger angel.